Hello, my name is Kim, and this is for actually Antonio Brown. I have discovered that he has been or gotten himself into some more problems or situations where now that the police are seeking to arrest him. I do understand that you have blocked yourself in or barricaded yourself in where you're not giving yourself up to the police. I am so sorry for whatever it is that has happened to you in your life throughout the years of your life. I have heard the story of the things that you have gone through in reference to your teenage years and how you had to struggle and fight to get through whatever processes in life that you had to face and get through. But the amazing part about it, you became one of the best wide receivers of all times. But here of late, there have been so many headlines or news flashes from different things that has transpired in your life, from the point of the swimming pool incident and you walking off the field after a bad call or a play that was made that you felt there was injustice. And I asked myself so many times, what is troubling you? What is bothering you? And it's like I can't let it go. It's many times I try to just say, well, prayerfully he'll work it out. But it's like it stays in my spirit to talk to you, to see if I can try to reach out to you, to connect with you, because you are hurting. You're in a lot of pain. It's almost like a firefighter. If they see a house that's on fire, and even though they're off duty, they're going to do something to assist because that is something that they naturally do for a living. Their instincts automatically kicked in or have kicked in. A doctor, if they see an injury or someone fainted or passed out, and they know that there is a problem, they don't look at being off duty as not being a doctor. They're going to do their job. When people see other people hurting, as myself, I see you hurting. I see the pain. I see the struggles. And it's behind your smile. You hide it behind your smile. Every time you smile, there is a brilliance of light that show, but you have so much pain and so much suffering on the inside that the smile is for everyone else, but it's not for yourself. I know it's easy for everybody to say just turn yourself in, go ahead and just talk to the police or what have you, but until someone is in that predicament themselves, it's not an easy thing to do. I'm not saying that you should not, but maybe these officers can give you the help that you need. You are in some very, very deep pain. You're suffering so greatly. And I can see your pain. I can understand to a degree some of the pain because a lot of it stemmed from your teenage years at the age of 16. And you are really battling this, and you keep battling it and keep battling it, and you haven't overcome it. Why? Because that 16-year-old child, that young adult, is still angry. They're bitter, and they have not got over what had happened to them at that age. That the 34-year-old man that you are today, you can't heal because the 16-year-old is still fighting. They're still struggling because they're battling possibly abandonment, betrayal, loneliness, you feel possibly that no one cares about you, that the only attention that you're able to get in these days and time is negative attention. You're not getting any positive attention in behind what you're doing to yourself. And I am afraid for you. I'm afraid for your children. I'm afraid for your life, because these things can't continue to happen without pretty much a predictable ending. And I don't want to see that happen, because there are too many times where young men as yourself have been faced with obstacles in their way, and somebody can see that you're hurting. But I'm wanting to pull you by your collar and say, hey, let's talk about this. Let's see what the problem is, and let's see what we can get corrected in your life. I adore you. Whenever you played football, I enjoyed every moment that you played. I really did, because you brought a lot of fun. Now, you did a lot of things that you got fined for, of course. But you were a lot of fun. You enjoyed playing football. But I believe that in some way during this process, you became unhappy, not because of football, but everything that 16-year-old child had been through is all coming back to the surface. It's like you're trying to push it to the side, but you can't, because that 16-year-old is requiring you to take care of him, because you may feel like no one was there to take care of you at that age. And it's time for you to let that 16-year-old know they're okay now. Look at all that we've accomplished. We got through school. We've been through college, or at least tried to attempt college. We made it to the NFL. Look at everything that we have done in this life. I have beautiful children, but that 16-year-old wants to remind you of what happened to you. And so that bitterness returns back, and it's like, oh, I have to get revenge for this. I have to avenge myself for that, because I hurt. And when they hurt me, I have to hurt other people. And one of the things that I'm noticing is that the disrespect that you have towards women. And that disrespect is a stem from what happened when you were younger. And trust me when I tell you, this is not something that I made up in my mind, or is something that I just came up with. My mother went to school for psychology, and she was a psychotherapist. My brother is in mental health. And so naturally, it caused me to want to study psychology and different things of that nature. And the importance of it is this: I need for you to let that 16-year-old know that you've accomplished a lot to get where you are today. Look at everything that you accomplished. But when you wipe away all the money, all the fame, all the popularity in the cars and different things, it's just you. It's just you and that 16-year-old. And until you allow that 16-year-old to know, hey, I'm okay. Yes, these things happen to me at that age, but it's time for me to grow up and let that go, because I cannot continue to live this way knowing that it's nothing that I can do to change it. All I can do is forgive the people that hurt me, forgive myself, and move on. This is what needs to happen in order for the 34-year-old to heal. You are in so much pain and you have so much anger inside of you that you don't know how to release it. And the sad part is, I know that there are people out here that will be willing to listen to you. I know it is. But a lot of people may not want to deal with it because they don't know what end or what side of the bed you're going to come off of. And they don't want to run into that opposition. But the problem is this. You have to be willing to want to have the help. These police officers that are looking for you because they have a warrant out for your arrest, they have been patient. They really have. I know about the history of different officers throughout the country, but every police officer is not a bad police officer. Just like every different race of people, all of these different races are not bad people. There are good people in every race or in every occupation or whatever you want to look at. I understand that there are oppositions out there. I do understand that. But in order for you to begin your healing, you have to first surrender. And it's time to tell the 16-year-old, okay, enough is enough. We cannot get in trouble like this anymore. And I believe that that's what's enraging you. That's what's causing you to kind of go off on that end that, everybody's looking like, don't he know that that's not good? Don't he know that that's not the smartest thing in the world to do? Or that's not the wisest thing to do? And the problem is, yes, the 34-year-old do know. But the 16-year-old doesn't. And I look at how much trouble you may have been in at the age of that young age, and you got away with it. But now you're at an age that you're going to have to be held accountable for what you're doing. The only way that you're going to begin your healing process is to face the problems. You can't run away from them forever, because really the 16-year-old is a part of you. That's who's a part of you. But you have to set him down and say, no more. I can't do this anymore. I have to get myself together. I have to get my mind together. I have to be happy for me. Meaning I have to let go what happened back then. I cannot carry this around with me anymore. And I have to let it go. That happened 18 years ago. So 18 years ago, I have to let go. These things, yes, they did happen to me. And yes, I was very angry about what happened and why it happened to me. But now I have to let it go and forgive those that I had such great animosity towards. And I have to start apologizing to these people that I ran through the mud and that I disrespected and that I was disloyal to when they were trying to do me a favor. I have to stop and take a look at what I'm doing. And what I'm doing is not right. It all begins with you acknowledging that you have a problem, acknowledging that you're angry, and that you are so mad at everybody else for what they did. But now it's time to let it go, because I don't want to hear about another player going to the grave at such a young age. You are a young man still. At 34 years, boy, look, I know I would love to go back to 34 years old, but I can't. I have to be happy at the age that I am in. But when I see someone as your age that is going through what you're going through, I gotta stop and say, hey, it's time for me to step up and see what I can do to help. Now, I know a lot of times celebrities are really hard to get in contact with because they don't know who to trust. And I understand that. I do. I understand that. I understand that with greatness. And I know that you may not know who to trust because you have been betrayed. You have been let down. So it's hard to trust anybody. But the one person other than God that you can trust is yourself. Trust yourself to get better. Go ahead and relinquish this run. Stop running away from your problems. It's not going to solve anything. It's only going to make it worse for you. But let the things go that are bothering you and troubling you. Face them like a man. Face them like a man. You're not that teenager anymore. Face them like a man. Go with it. Now, I know a lot of people can cheer for a winner, but I'm going to root for you. I know you probably feel that everybody has written you off, that everybody have so many negative things to say about you. I don't. Now, I know what you've done, and do I condone it? No, I don't. But you still have a chance to turn your life around. You have an opportunity to get it together for you and for your kids. I know that it's difficult to make that bow face. I know it is. And the one thing that I'm going to leave available to you, that you turn yourself in and you surrender into the cops and face that warrant, whatever you go through. I don't have anything negative to say about you. I will say that is a positive step of healing, the beginning of your healing. And if you want to have somebody to talk to, fuss about, scream about why you are so angry, hey, I have a good ear. I can listen. But that's available to you only if you want it. I'm not going to beg. I'm not going to plead with you. I'm just talking to you as a human being. You are a human being and you're hurting. And I just see someone in pain. It's like helping someone that don't have any money and they're falling short. They're trying to buy something in the grocery store and you give them whatever they need so they can buy their groceries. I see that you have a need. You have a need of a friend. You have a need of an ear and a shoulder. You have a need to get help, to speak to someone on a professional level, to give them the idea of why you're so angry and let them help you, guide you through how to get through that next process. But you always need that support system even after you leave the doctor's office because, of course, they're not going to always be there for you. They're only available for the time allotted for you to go. But I want to make myself available that, yes, I work. I work a full-time job. I'm a mom. I'm a grandmother. But the one thing that I can always be, if you allow me to be, is a friend. Go ahead and make that step for your future. Stop running. Stop hiding that little boy that felt betrayed, felt like that they didn't have anybody to count on or trust. There are people out here that will help you, but only if you're willing to get that help. I'm going to end it here by saying, Antonio, you are an amazing person. You are. You may not have been doing some amazing things, and you may have made a lot of people upset with you, and I don't condone the things that you've done, but I know that without a doubt in your heart, You are a good person. We just got to find that person. Because all that exterior, all that shell that you've built up around you, or that barrier that you built up around you, is only to hide the pain. Now, the victims, or the women that have been attacked, or what have you, that they've done. No, I don't condone it. I don't. And I'm not going to. I didn't condone it for my sons, and I don't condone it for anybody to ever have to be put in that situation. But there's help for you. There is hope for you. And that anger, that bitterness, that malice that you have in your heart, it can melt away. Only God and yourself can get that melted away. God can take it and turn it into love. But you have to be willing to make that first step. My name again is Kim. I hope that you understand that you're not hopeless. You're not a waste of time. I don't see you as a waste. I see this as an opportunity of helping someone who's really desperately crying out for help. And I hope and I pray that you get the help that you need. And again, I can be an ear, I can be a shoulder, I can be a friend if you allow me to be. But right now, you need to be the best friend you can be to yourself and help yourself. Turn yourself in and begin the healing process. You have yourself a wonderful, wonderful and blessed day. And I hope that your journey will be a positive journey in the days to come. Bye.